Alright, everybody. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. I've been busy. This is my new 2002 Toyota Tacoma SR5. It's got 260,000 on it. Missing a parking light. I bought this truck the other day. It's got the 4-cylinder in it. And it's automatic. I wish it was a 5-speed, but it's not. Bought this truck the other day, and I knew I was going to have to rebuild the front end when I bought it, because the bush ends were just wore out. Everything is just these lower control arms. It's got 260,000 on it. Looks like it's never been changed, but the truck runs like a top. So I went ahead and bought it. AC works, heat works, radio works, but I'm going to change the radio out. Got a good clean interior. Now the brake light is on. I do have the brake pulled, but it's on as well because I think I need to bleed the brakes. Got a little back seat, which I'm going to put a speaker back there and just use it. This is going to be a work truck. That's all it's going to be. I'm going to use it on the road and back and forth to work. Anyhow, I've already tore down that front end on the driver's side. Down this front end here on the passenger side, I'm going to be replacing the upper and lower ball joint. It's just trash. That's the upper. That's your lower. That lower ain't that bad, but I'm changing it anyhow. Your rack and pinion is trash. Somebody tried to spray it with some lube. That's an old trick. You spray it with silicone lube. It had a real bad squeak from the suspension when I bought it. And it was in ball joints squeaking, and so I got like $200 in the parts, if that. I ordered them on eBay. Probably not the best place to order parts, but I did anyhow. It's the cheapest. And come with some Pacer wheels. They look pretty sweet on it. Parts will be here in the mail in a couple days, and then I'm gonna do another video of me installing the parts on one side, and then probably time lapse the second one. Alright, so I've already pulled one bolt out of the brake caliper. That's what I'm starting with. So I'm going to start on the second bolt now. Which I've already started it, but I'm just going to finish it out. Then I'm going to remove this brake caliper first. I'm going to take some tie wraps and hang it up to this upper control arm. Be careful when you pull this caliper all the way off. These brake pads might fall out of it. I'm gonna try not to do it. Alright, there you go. So what I did on the other side was I ran tie wrap through here, held it to hold it in there. Cause they come out easily, but sometimes it can be aggravating, so I'm just not fighting it. Which I learned from experience on the other side. Alright, so I got the brake caliper tied up to the lower control arm out the way now. I can start to work. Now I got the brake caliper up out the way. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up this brake line connection to the control arm. It's just a bracket. I'm gonna get it out the way so there ain't no pressure or tension on my brake line. Alright, now I'm gonna remove this wheel hub and this brake caliper. And that's it. You can take your needle noses. I like to use my old famous Leatherman wave. You're going to bend that back. That quarter pin. So take your needle nose and pull it right out. And this castle nut should spin off without any resistance, I feel like. That's what it did on the other side. And there it goes. Now mind you, when you go to pull this wheel hub off, don't do like I did and drop the freaking bearing. You're gonna wanna hold pressure kind of on this. This is a Carter key, or not it's a keyway washer. I'm gonna hold pressure on it like so. Pull it off, straight off, and then it shouldn't come out the bottom, but the top will. And I'm just gonna sit it down right there out of the, and you're left with your shaft. And then that's the wheel hub and the caliper. I'm gonna take this cap, I'm gonna sit it back on top right here so nothing can get in that. And then that's that. And what I did on the last one was I cleaned that shaft off. I just don't want to get this grease all over me. When you put this back together, it's crucial that it's perfectly clean when you store it. Get any contaminants out of that grease. You don't want
dirt or trash,
or them bearings will go to crap real fast. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to take this plate off with these store bits, torque bits right here, and go from there. So I'm going to take this plate off now. Look, it's a T30 torque bit, star bit. You're going to want to save these screws too. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it on top of the hub to help protect it while it's on the ground. And there we are. Get your lower ball joint. You got your upper ball joint. You got your tie rod in right here coming off your rack and pinion. This here is a control arm right here. That bushing is gone. I don't know if you can see it, but it's gone. And this here is your sway bar link. I'm not replacing it this time because I can replace it as needed. I don't think it's that wore out. I mean, it's pretty wore out. But long story short, I didn't buy it because I bought a kit off of eBay type deal and it wasn't in it. I'm going to clean all this up when I go to put it back together. You don't want any grease or grime on this edge right here. And that's how you get to your, I don't remember what they call this. Alright, we're going to start with this upper control arm. It's a 17 millimeter. It's got a castle nut on it and a quarter pin. You gotta start with that. The old Leatherman out again. Just straighten the quarter pin out. Hook it, pull it straight out of there. Bam. Now this one here is going to be a little tighter. Most likely. It's going to be significantly tighter. Like I might have to use a hammer to get it off. And then I don't know if you've ever seen a ball joint buster, but it gets crazy. The ball joint fork. And I'm stand corrected. It is a 19 millimeter. Show you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take this hammer and I'm gonna whack this other end of this wrench till it comes loose. Right there, bam. Now if you're strong, you might be able to and that's it. Take the castle nut off, and then you're gonna run your fork in there with the big hammer and knock her out. Alright, this is called a ball joint fork. It's a rough way of removing a ball joint. To me it is. They make ball joint removers, but I'm not interested in a ball joint remover at this time. This is how I'm gonna do it. I didn't want to buy one. You just run it in there, and it gets violent. You want to step back, because that thing it might pop loose and whatever. Unbolt these 4 bolts right here. Doot. Number 12. And then that whole piece slides out, and that's your upper ball joint. Now on the other side, I did the lower first, and probably what I should have done here. Alright, we're going to remove this upper ball joint. Now, alright, I got it out. Same thing. I'm gonna tap this castle nut loose. Well, maybe it's aftermarket. This is a 13/16 on the bottom of this one. For me, it might be different for you. Here we go again. Sometimes they're stubborn. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do, since this boy don't want to come out, I'm going to add another one to it. Another wrench. Or fork. Tell you what, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this control arm off. I don't remember what it's called exactly. I'm going to remove it out of my way so I can get this ball joint off the rest of the way. And there's plenty of better videos on YouTube on how to do this. They got all the right tools. They got everything they need. They got a freaking car lift. This is how you do it if you're in the ditches. In the trenches, if you will. I'm not poor by no means. This is how you do it if you ain't got a car lift, if you don't have a concrete pad. In the backyard on some gravel. It sucks, but it can be done, and it can save you a colossal amount of money if you're into that. I paid like $200 for the parts on eBay. Now you can get the parts from AutoZone Advance for about $500. They might take you another 300,000 miles. I'm only trying to go about 50 or 60, and if this thing makes it that far, then I might invest some AutoZone parts in it. Well, on it again. had to put 2 forks in there, and I applied a lot of heat. She popped out. I had this fork in there like that, and I put this other fork on top of it. With the applied heat, she come right out. That thing's cherry red right now. Just put it right on the tip, right there. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I think I do got one wrench that fits it. Yeah. But my other wrench don't fit it, so I'm gonna grab this thing like this, and I'm gonna bust that jam nut loose, and I'm gonna leave it in place so my alignment don't get messed up anymore. Or you know what I mean? Because if you let this nut spin and then you put it back together all willy-nilly without it in the right spot, close to where it was, then your alignment will be out. And a lot of times they say you're going to need to go get an alignment after you do this job. And I very well may go get an alignment after I do this job. But as long as you get it put back together, oh yeah, she's tight. As long as you get it put back together semi close, you should be able to drive it. You know, I wouldn't go 30,000 miles like that, but I'd put it, you know, if you drive a couple hundred miles, it shouldn't hurt it. There we go. Hopefully y'all got that. She's loose now. Now this thing here, this tie rod end will unscrew off of this pit rod arm. I don't know the correct name for all these. Never. Put some grease in here, some Konochrome. So this ain't the right size, but it's the closest one I got. It's a 20 millimeter. I just stuck it right here on this tie rod end. I got this thing jammed in there, the pipe wrench jammed in there, and I had to use it to break this off, break it loose. So now when I get my new tie rod in with that new ball joint on it, I'll just screw it back on and then snug that jam nut back up tight, and it should be close to where it was before I took it apart. All this is trash now. For me. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this little control arm or whatever it's called. I need to replace it. It's got a bad boot right here. But I can do that later. Like I said previously, the pack that I ordered did not have that. And I didn't know it was this bad when I did the ordering. Which I'm not too worried about it. That's on your sway bar. But that can be changed after the fact. I can come back and do that easily. Just take the tire off and go in from the side after everything's put back on. So I'm gonna do that later. But I got to take it off so I can get this lower control arm here out. This has got to come out. This control arm here. the bushing's bad on it, just like the other side. So I'm gonna spray this down and get them broke loose and go from there. Well, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna break them loose. Alright, so I got it sprayed down now. I got my wrench on the top of this little connector arm right here. I don't believe it's the right size. I believe it's a metric, but I'm using a 9/16. I've already broke it loose, so I'm just gonna ratchet this off now. Get that on off of there. Now I gotta save this because I'm gonna be reusing this. I don't know if they got it at the local parts store. I might pick one up tomorrow, but I'm not ordering. I ordered all these parts off eBay. They were the cheapest and the fastest, I believe. I believe Amazon had them, but they was like $20. $30 more, and I'm not trying to dump a lot of money in this thing. I just got it. I knew I was going to have to rebuild the front end, but we're going to start out with the cheap parts first, and they're good enough. I've used them before, and as long as you ain't out there hot rodding or off-roading, I'm just going to be straight highway driving with this truck. This ain't the right size, but it's 11/16. Alright, now I'm going to work on these lower control arm bolts. And I had to use the hammer to knock them loose on the other side, so I'm probably going to do the same thing here. I believe it's 17. Yes, it is. You're going to want to save these nuts, because the new control arms that I got in come with the studs. This is a studded control arm, but they didn't come with the nuts. If you've never seen a wrench hit with a hammer, it's a common practice in the industrial field. They got actual wrenches called knock wrenches, and they got a head on them, and then they got a big old knob on this side made for hitting with the hammer. Alright, here we are in the truck now, laying on my rug, blanket, what have you. First thing you're going to do when you go to remove this lower control arm here, you have to get this bolt out. Okay, in order to get this bolt out, you got to loosen up this U-bolt on the sway bar so it will slide all the way out. So the first thing I'm going to do is loosen that up and get it out of the way. And it's going to be number 12. Start by using my wrench wherever it's at. It's going to be a 22 millimeter. It's going to be the same thing with the hammer. These bolts are tight. They've been on there a long time, probably the whole 260,000 miles. So we're just going to take this boy and go like this. Yeah, bud.
I got a pet frog.
A pet frog? Let me see. Where'd you get a frog at?
Oh, where I Jason a boat. Found it in the dirt.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can have frogs. You can't have snakes.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah. Don't let them out in the house. You're going to want to save this bolt as well, because you will be using this bolt again. That's it. Pull that out. Save your bolt. You gotta work it out of there. Alright, we're gonna work on getting it off of the lower control arm now. Not the lower A arm. Stuck in there. Got it. Look at that thing right there. Blowed out. Alright, I'm gonna get set up to put the other one in.